Hey, everybody, and welcome to the October board meeting for Judge Foundry. We got some new faces here today. Hopefully, we got lots of folks out there watching in the virtual space. The new boards here, we elected them a couple weeks ago at our annual meeting, so we have some extra bureaucracy to go through today and some new things that we are going to get started moving forward. So the first thing on the agenda is the election of officers. It's the first thing we need to do because we're a new board. The officer positions expire at the beginning of this meeting. Luckily, it's the beginning of the month, so the new board has just taken their seats, and we'll take care of this right away. Each officer needs to be a member of the board of directors. Each officer-elect will take office when this meeting adjourns and will serve for 1 year until the end of the board meeting in October 2025 or October 2026. Look at me with my outdated documents. We'll start with the office of president. The president is the leader of Judge Foundry, presides at member meetings and meetings of the board. And if anyone has tuned into the stream for the last year, I was the president last year. I'm the one who is in the chair for these meetings and in the chair for the annual meeting. I don't get any extra special power or anything from being the president. I just have to chair the meetings. Are there any nominations for president?
I nominate Joe Klopchik for president of Judge Foundry.
Joe Klopchik is nominated. Are there any other further nominations?
No.
Looks like no. The cat says no. Since there is only one nomination, Joe Klopchik is elected president. We now move on to vice president. The vice president will automatically become president if there's a vacancy and will act temporarily if the president is unable to perform their duties. And as y'all have seen in the past year, the vice president presides over these meetings when the president is just unable to be there. They will not get my cats if I am unable to be there. Are there any nominations for vice president?
I would like to nominate Kylan Schaefer as vice president.
Kylan Schaefer is nominated. Are there any other nominations? Since there's only one nomination, Kylan Schaefer is elected vice president. Next on the list is secretary. The secretary records what happens at meetings, drafts the minutes of meetings, sends official notices, files paperwork with the state and the IRS, and sends and receives correspondence. That's basically all our secretary does. They're our official person that will send notices to people and do all those kinds of things. There are some technical things in Robert's Rules of Order that says what the secretary does, but that covers most of them. Are there any nominations for secretary?
I would like to nominate Ryan Wood for secretary.
Ryan Wood is nominated for secretary. Do I hear any other nominations? I'm not hearing any other nominations. So since there's only one nomination, Ryan Wood is elected secretary. And finally, treasurer. The treasurer receives funds, disperses funds when authorized by the board, gives a financial report at each member meeting and meeting of the board, prepares the annual financial report after the end of the fiscal year, and prepares a draft budget for the board to discuss. We've seen these kinds of budgets and other things at our meetings. That is what the treasurer does. Do we have any nominations for treasurer?
Ryan Wood nominates Toby as the treasurer.
So Tobias Viseri has been nominated for treasurer. Do I hear any other nominations? I don't hear any other nominations, so Tobias Viseri is elected treasurer. Congratulations to our newly elected officers. The term of the new officers will begin when this meeting adjourns. So we now move to the rest of our regularly scheduled monthly meeting. The first thing on the list is the member report. I always provide a report on the membership status. So this month we had 3 new L1s, or I should say we had net plus 3 L1s, minus 1 L2s, L2, and minus 13 affiliate members. That puts our total as minus 11, down to 1,079 total members. That's 354 L1s, 161 L2s, 30 L3s, 11 L4s, and 16 L5s. I would say that we're seeing a little bit of attrition at the affiliate level, but the rest of this is pretty normal. I think there should be some new certifications coming up as well. I know that we definitely there must have been some L1s that stepped away, because I know we certified 10 or so L1s in the last month. Okay, next up on our normal agenda is the Treasurer's Report. We don't have a Treasurer's Report this month. We'll get one that covers the last 2 months at the next meeting. Next up on the agenda is the Q&A. I'll remind everybody out there that you are free to ask Q&A questions in the Q&A forum that we post on Judge Apps every month, and then we'll respond to those during the meeting. We have a bunch of questions this month, which is great. We've kind of not had very many questions over the last few months. So Matt isn't here this week or this month, so I will walk through those questions and get some answers from the board. The first question, this does not have, okay, this one is from BPRL, Brian Perlman. A bunch of these are from BPRL, but I just like to mention who questions are from. If someone else wants to look up the rest of these, then I'll include that with the other questions. Here we go. What is each board member's #1 goal in 2025, excluding the whole WotC hiring a new JM, so maybe they will acknowledge us?
My goal in 2025 is to sort of revitalize conferences. We haven't had a lot of conferences, and I think that's pretty critical to building community. And in a more overarching sense, I'd also like for the members of Judge Foundry to feel like they're getting something out of this. They're paying $5 a month or $7 Canadian. I'd like to feel like that. I would like them to feel like they're actually getting something for that.
Yeah, I can go
Anyone
next.
else?
Yeah, for sure. Hi everyone. It's great to be here. #1 goal in 2025 for me is not only to implement community-facing or focused projects and programs and whatever, but to empower them, because it's really easy, I think, to just go drop these in the community and just be like, all right, peace, I'm out. But I really want to work with individuals and provide tools and resources to really get these projects off the ground and give them some headway. And I think more specifically, and hopefully you're seeing some of this already, is I want to do this by utilizing voices of excitement, concern, and feedback. I am not a stranger to having difficult conversations, so please, I love reflecting with you all. So to get these projects up and moving and to empower you, I need to hear not only excitement, but if you have something you're like, hold on, I think we need to pump the brakes, I would love to hear that as well.
I think I'll give my answer next. I'll kind of a technicality around the way BPRL asked his question and say that while getting Wizards to acknowledge us would be great, my goal is to have our organization land in a good place in the next 6 to 9 months. We know there's going to be a lot of change when it comes from Wizards. We don't know what that means for the org at all now. That could mean not existing on some time frame. It could mean having a very strong partnership with Wizards, anything along the way. So I want to kind of guide us to a place that is good for all of our members and make everybody happy about where we get there. Anyone else have answers?
Yeah, my hope, very simple, is to achieve noticeable membership growth, as well as to increase engagement with and from the organization with the members. I'm hoping to see us engage directly with the members more, and I'm hoping to see members engage with the organization more.
Rob, did you have something?
I have something. I'm the same as a lot of you. What I want is I want to devolve a lot of what we do day to day to the members rather than the board. The board does a lot of stuff that we've been the ones doing a lot of the day-to-day things, and we've had positive growth in this aspect with testing, with A lot of the different committees have been devolved off the board, but we still do a lot of things. We do a lot of direct management, and I want more of the community to do that stuff. The board should be approving funds for monetary things, and then just like providing overall direction, and then the heads of the different projects should have a lot of room to run on those. And I want to push more leadership out away from the board so that there's more people taking on different things.
Great. Thanks, Rob. I think that's all of us. I think we'll go to the next question. The next question is from Beepril again. Beepril asks, what's a thing that the board accomplished last year that was successful? What did it learn from its success? I'll start. I kind of, it's a kind of a weird answer because I don't want to claim that the biggest thing that we did in the last year was to remove a bunch of judge levels, but maintenance was a huge undertaking. We learned a lot about the way that people engage, and honestly, we learned a lot that, you know, people who move on. There was a lot fewer complaints than I expected, so I'm glad that we were able to do that, and I think we're well set up for maintenance next year. Update quizzes were a huge success. That kind of ties into maintenance, but, you know, again, plug, go do your update quizzes. Those are a great piece of content that we're continuing to make. And the real success is that we stuck around long enough to show that we're legitimate. We certified or leveled up 200 judges in the last year. I don't know the exact number. It's over 200. That's a big deal. We still exist. Judges still exist despite any effort or lack of effort from whatever publishers haven't been able to do stuff for us recently. Anyone else have a different thing they wanted to acknowledge?
I just wanted to call it as part of that. We certified over 200 people and leveled up over 200. We're over 1,000 members, and that is I honestly think that's a big deal. That wasn't my expectation. Like, maybe at this point we might be at 1,000. I thought, because the growth was going to be slow, but we've been over 1,000, sustaining at that level, and I think that's huge that the board has managed to get to that point and then sustain it. So,
yeah, thanks, Rob. The next question, again from Beepril, is what is the thing the board attempted and failed to accomplish last year, and what did it learn from this failure?
I think that this mirrors what my previous sentiment. We failed to ensure that our members felt like Judge Foundry was providing them anything, and we failed to make people excited. When I spoke to people at events, the feelings about Judge Foundry oftentimes were lukewarm, and I think that is a big failing. I remember a long time ago, I used to be really, really excited to be a judge, and a lot of people used to feel that way. So I think we really need to work on that. We can't just provide things like sticks, like exams and, you know, maintenance. Like, these things are incredibly important, incredibly integral, but we also need to provide more carrots for our members, things that get them really hyped up about being a judge and being part of this thing.
Thanks, Toby. Anyone else have anything they want to say? We'll move on to the next question. Okay. The next question from Brian is, a board should work together and form a cohesive whole. Using unified deck construction rules, what skills do you bring to the board? I'll answer first that I know what unified deck construction rules are. No. Anyone else want to start?
I'll start. I think I bring a sense of like fun and goofiness to the board, and then I counterbalance that with like a really hardworking and diligent kind of attitude. I like to get stuff done. I'm oftentimes, you might have noticed I didn't really speak a lot last year, but I do a lot of background work. I do a lot of crappy grunt work. So I bring that. I do a lot of the tasks that other people don't really want to do.
So my real answer here is that, yeah, I was here from the beginning and I have a sense of what this org should be, or my vision of it. But I think my biggest strength is the ability to bring people together for compromise. I want to hear lots of perspectives and try and find the middle ground between the people that are involved. And I've done that a lot with previous boards and this board already, and lots of people in the community. And I think that's really valuable.
I bring in obnoxious dedication. I'm pretty all in, for sure. I bring some unique perspectives. I've stated perspectives that kind of go against the grain. of what others think, and I want to have those conversations and reflect and collaborate. I bring lines of communication to multiple communities. I'm kind of all over the place, not just in the Great Lakes, but I'm all over in the plains and down south and wherever it may be. I have ties everywhere, and I like to use those. And I bring a unique emphasis on effective teaching and learning. And I'm really excited to utilize that in all of the projects that I have hands in. How can we effectively teach, and what does effective learning look like among our members?
I think Rob is last if Rob has an answer. Or no, never mind. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah. One of the major qualities that I bring to the table is my experience watching Judge Foundry grow from before it started to now, as well as assisting with the Flesh and Blood Judge program and its growth. This experience will help illuminate what has worked and what has not, and how we can potentially move into the future and better utilize the current members and future members that we have, as well as be an effective board.
And my big thing is I'm the long-term institutional guy. Like Joe's got this ton of stuff with Judge Foundry. I'm the pre-Judge Foundry dinosaur. I've been a regional coordinator back when that was a thing. I helped select people for different roles in the old program. I did conduct stuff in the old program. I worked with Judge Academy on their advisory board. So I'm the long-term institutional heft person. And I generate that continuity over time so that we know, why decisions are made in old programs and how to best reflect that stuff going forward.
Awesome. I think that's everybody. So Bpril's next and final question is, which hypothetical explanation of the Fermi paradox do you feel is most plausible / believable? And he's linked to a video that I'm sure we can put in the description somewhere.
I assume this is Full Worlds. I didn't actually even look at this. Oh no, this is Chris Gust. Okay.
Yeah. I actually linked to that. I watched that a long time ago. I think it's a great video. I'll answer this one first. I think life, especially complex life, like us, we're complex, is just incredibly unique and difficult to evolve. A lot of things need to line up, and you just need the perfect chemistry soup to even start that process, and then just a whole bunch of different things need to happen. So I think that for now, we were unique. Maybe there's some single-celled organisms out there. I don't know, but they don't really impact my life too much, so I don't really care about them until they, get their crap together and start evolving.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
My computer did weird things. I don't know if you noticed.
Did it log you out of everything again?
No, it just made weird noises, and then I had to reset my headphones. Anyways, I think that the most plausible explanation for the Fermi paradox is that life is just very rare, and that life ever contacting other life is just incredibly unlikely. Anyone else have an answer?
I think that there's a lot of filters, that there's a ton of these like big filters that life will start and then it'll run out. Recently, we are pretty sure that there's life byproducts on Mars, but then Mars's atmosphere reduced. That's a pretty good filter. We found out our sun is quiet, that a lot of other G dwarfs produce a lot of static and noise. And so that there's a ton of cosmic rays and a ton of high levels of radiation around other similar stars, and there's all sorts of these little like blocking points that, like, when you roll probability and probability, we exist so we know what happened, but it's just like there's lots of these big blocks that block things. So yeah, some of which we don't even know.
We have any more answers out there? No. Okay. Move on to a question from someone else. Kyle Rick asks, how is this board going to grow the community in the next 12 months?
So the board was discussing options before the term began, and also when we are ready to disclose any of those ideas, when they're a little bit more concrete and have not been twice baked for 2 weeks since the board was elected. We will announce that information when we can. In the immediate future, know that we are actively discussing options for growth and engagement.
Yeah, and I want to springboard off that. We have a pile of new business that's coming. Check out the resolutions that we have here. We're coming in strong with a bunch of stuff that we've already in that 2 weeks gotten, but there's more in the works. So
Awesome. Well, thanks to everybody for the Q&A this month. Glad to have more questions. Again, if you want your question answered, put it in the forum. We'll be happy to answer it at the next meeting. The next thing on the agenda is new business. We got a bunch of that this month. So the first piece of business is we have to appoint the bylaws committee. I'm going to review the rules related to the composition of the committee. There's 5 members of the committee. The board should appoint one of these members as the chair. 0 or 1 of the members may also be a member of the board. Are there any nominations for the bylaws committee?
I'd like to nominate Kyle Rick for the bylaws committee.
Does anyone else have any nominations?
Should I just nominate all these people? Like,
yeah, just go ahead and nominate the list.
Give the list. Yes.
Sure. I would like to also nominate Sam Duralde, Graham Kirkpatrick, Rob McKenzie, and Chris Richardson.
Okay, so I'm also going to nominate that Kyle Rick remain as the chair of the bylaws committee, which means that these members have been nominated. Kyle Rick as the chair, Sam Duralde, Graham Kirkpatrick, Rob McKenzie, and Chris, say it, Toby.
Richardson.
There we go. Excellent. Those in favor of appointing these members to the bylaws committee, please raise your hand. I see 4 hands. Any opposed to these nominations? I don't see any. There is a majority in the affirmative, and these members are adopted as the bylaws committee. I want to thank the bylaws committee again. They do a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that we can get things done, and we do have this, kind of big thing. We want to have an extra meeting this year to change the bylaws, so we'll have something for them right away. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the changing the leadership structure of the conferences project. Does someone want to speak to what this does?
Yeah, I can talk about that. I think a lot of the other committees that we have that deal with finances are a group of people rather than just one person, and we're just changing the conferences so that it is that. There's now 5 people that all argue about how to spend the money on conferences instead of just a single point of contact. I also think diversifying the opinions on the conference committee is useful, and it also helps to just spread out the workload as well, so that one person isn't completely overloaded with the entire conference program. So that's just about it.
Okay. Does anyone have any other commentary? No. Okay. In that case, I'm going to move that we adopt Resolution 1, the conference project. The Resolution 1 is titled Change the Leadership Structure of the Conferences Project. All in favor, raise your hand. I see 5 votes. That's unanimous. So the resolution is adopted. The leadership structure of the conferences project is now changed to be reflected. Anyone else looking out there that wants the documents, those will be up in the minutes fairly quickly. The other thing we need to do because of this is, now that the conferences project is led by a committee, we need to appoint the conference committee itself. There has to be at least 3 members of the committee. One of those is appointed as the chair, and every member of the committee has to be a member but not an affiliate member. That means at least an L1 and in good standing. Does anyone have nominations for the conference committee?
Yes.
I do. Okay.
I can just
Go ahead, Rob.
Oh,
go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, because I can just read through this like you did at the previous set of nominations, Toby. So I would like to move that Stefan Clausen, Kylan Schaefer, Graham Kirkpatrick, EJ Wynn, and Brooke Gardner Durbin be on this committee.
All right, thanks, Rob. And I'm going to also nominate that Stefan Klassen be the chair of that committee, just so that's clear. So these members have been nominated to the conference committee. Stefan Klassen is the chair, Kylan Schaefer, Graham Kirkpatrick, PJ Wynn, and Brooke Gardner Durbin. Those in favor of appointing these members to the conference committee, raise a hand. I see 4 yeses. Any opposed? I don't see any. So there is a majority in the affirmative. These members are adopted. We have a new conference committee. Appreciate those folks who volunteered to be part of that. We've talked about conferences a lot in the last couple of years, and I hope good things are to come. Stefan's a good friend of mine, and he's very passionate about conferences. I think he's a great person for this. Okay. Next on new business is the project charter for website management. Before I'll invite other folks to talk about this as well. I just want to note that this is one of the things that was requested at the annual meeting. So we are making a project for website management. Does someone want to discuss the things that are explained here?
Yeah, I'll take point on this. So before, we didn't really have somebody formally in charge of the website. We all just kind of did little bits here and there. The website is pretty important. It collects a bunch of our information. It's important that information is up to date. So it's important that somebody is in charge of that. In addition to this, this allows the person in charge of the website to recruit Judge Foundry members to help make improvements to the website. I know there's been several requests for different features. And yeah, it just basically puts somebody accountable for when something goes wrong in the website and you're like, why is this incorrect? You have somebody you can talk to. It's very clear and defined.
Yeah, and we'll also be able to add project members here as well. So they, the website manager can have a bunch of people on their team that each have control over one page or something like that. So there can be a little bit more delegation as well. I'm not saying that's the best way to do it. I'm saying that as an example of what we might do here. Okay, I think we've all had a chance to read the project charter. So I'm going to move to adopt the project charter for website management. All in favor, raise your hand. I see 5 hands, so it's unanimous. The project charter is adopted. The next piece of business is we need to appoint a website manager to lead that project. Do we have any nominations for that position?
Yes, I would like to nominate Tobias Viseri as the leader of the website project.
Okay. Do we have any?
Project.
Yeah. Do we have any other nominations? I'm not hearing any other nominations. So Toby is, I think we still have to vote on this. Matt didn't tell us. We'll vote anyways. All in favor of choosing Tobias Viseri as the website manager, raise your hand. I see 4 hands. Any opposed? I see none. Toby has been selected as the website manager. Okay, the next course of business, or the next piece of business, is the project charter for judge recruitment. Does anyone want to speak on what this project is going to do?
Yeah, I would love to. So I am a judge toddler. Not quite a judge baby, but I am a judge toddler. I am like eating maybe solid food and like maybe walking a little bit. This used to be Judge Booth, supposedly, and I've been learning more and more as this charter has been getting up and running. I've been talking to some people. Simply, the judge recruitment project is tasked with developing and distributing recruitment materials that align with Judge Foundry's recruitment mission. And furthermore, this project will be responsible for establishing and maintaining partnerships with individuals and communities to raise awareness as judging as a pathway. I'm very, very excited about this. This came as a request from Face to Face to get this project charter up and going. And I'm very excited to hopefully work with a group of individuals that will be out there and recruiting judges to Judge Foundry and the amazing work that we do.
Thanks, Kylan. Everybody had a chance to take a look at that project charter? I believe that's the case, so I'll go ahead and I will move that we adopt the project charter for judge recruitment, creating that project. All in favor, raise your hand. I see 5 hands. That's unanimous. The project charter is adopted, and we have a new project for judge recruitment. I guess I'll say this now and I'll repeat it at the end. If you're interested in joining one of these projects, I'm sure the leaders would love help. So if you're out there in virtual board meeting land and you want to be involved, reach out to Toby, reach out to Kylan, reach out to whoever's leading a project that you want to be involved with. We would love more folks. Okay, the next order of business is we need to appoint a judge recruitment project manager. Are there any nominations?
I move to appoint Ryan Sears as the judge recruitment project manager.
Okay, so the motion is to appoint Ryan Sears as the judge recruitment project manager. All in favor, raise your hand. I see 5 hands. That's unanimous. The motion is adopted. Ryan Sears is the judge recruitment project manager. The next piece of business is the project charter for partnerships. Kylan.
Yeah, can't get enough of me. Community partnerships. This is also very exciting. So community partnerships is going to work kind of similarly to the project grant approval committee, the community project grant approval committee. And they are going to, this community partnerships project is really going to be looking at funding some community tools. And we are really excited to get this launched because this helps keep those community tools up and running that we all use every day, especially on the floor or whatever events that we're working. But it also helps build our relationship with these community tools. And we're really focused on as a board to get out into the community more and provide members with some better things. And this community partnerships project will be some good steps in that direction.
Thanks, Kaylin. Does anyone else have anything they want to say about that project charter? Sounds like no. So in that case, I'm going to move that we adopt the project charter for partnerships. All in favor, raise your hand. I see 5 hands, so that is unanimous. The next item of business I have is Resolution 2 about a password manager. Rob, do you want to expand on this?
Yes. So we have a lot of different passwords that we need to track as the board. And one of the things that's come up with the fact that we've transitioned boards twice is handoffs for some of these things are a little hairy. Not because anybody did anything wrong or bad, just because an organization with continuity has to have a way to hand off passwords, the logins, the everything for all these. We've got all the product production things. We've got logins for WordPress. We've got logins for our Amazon services. And so we want a central, easy way to hand these things around that isn't a Google Doc that we can encrypt for things. We also have a Judge Foundry credit card that's used to pay for various different things. And it would be nice if the board wasn't having to call up and hand over a credit card over the phone. There's a service that I use personally called Dashlane that allows for secure encrypted storage of passwords and payment methods. And that would allow us to just, we onboard somebody new into something, we share the password bank with them. We can share individual passwords with individual people. We can do that if we, if the project devolves out of the board, or if a project devolves out of the board but needs password access, it would just be in the repository and we could share it with just that one person without having to worry about sending passwords over plain text, which I hate. And Dashlane is fairly cheap. It's like $90 a year for 10 logins with the family plan. So it's really good. So.
Okay.
Um,
Does anyone else have any other comments on the resolution number 2 for password manager? I believe, just so everybody out there
Yep.
says, we're approving up to $10 a month. We'll likely spend less than that because of
Yeah.
promotions and
Yeah,
other kinds of things.
the over approval is to make sure that if we have to pay tax on it, or if we have to pay anything else besides their advertised price, that we're underneath that, not the target numbers, that we don't have to come back and say, oh, we need 76 cents because we, you know.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I lost my place where I can see everybody on camera. There we go. So the motion is to adopt resolution 2 to allow the treasurer to pay for a password manager for the Judge Foundry board and other associated folks. All in favor, raise your hand. I see 5 hands. That's unanimous. So the resolution is adopted. I have a third resolution that I just added to the agenda. I'm just going to read it here and then we can discuss. The resolution is to require that charter adopted projects provide a monthly update. Usually, so I guess I'll start with, I'm the levels lead and my charter approved project provides a monthly update of how many members are part of the organization. And we talk about that every month. And then we also get the treasurer's update. So this simply adds a requirement to these charters that we've approved and previously approved charters, like the testing charter and the products charter, things like that, that they give us a monthly update as to what they've been doing. This can be nothing if they haven't actually done anything that month, but that means we can include all these things in future board meetings. And I think people would like to know what the conference committee is doing and what the website management folks have been up to. So I generally think this is a good idea and we'll get it out to everyone else. Does anyone have commentary about it?
My question is, does it need to be monthly for some of these projects?
I don't necessarily think it needs to be monthly, but I think it's harder to phrase this in a way like, maybe we can change the text to say they have to do it every 3 months, but they can do it every month. I don't know.
Like, that's my issue, is that like some of these things, like when we look at some of these elections, you could in theory put underneath this, there's some of these that just don't have something every 3 months, basically.
Yeah, but then they can also say the
month.
the election project is, dormant right now because there are no elections.
Okay.
Like the request here isn't to spend an hour giving us some sort of report. The request here is to tell the board like a paragraph about what you've done.
I also think that like monthly is, if we expand that time to tri-monthly or bi-monthly, we run into the risk of people just forgetting about it or not doing it. And I think we don't necessarily have to get on the board meeting and be like, yeah, the website project did nothing again this month. Like, we don't need to say that. But if there is something to say, then we say it. So I think this is a great idea. Thanks for putting this together, Joe.
Yeah, the only counter argument I have to that is that when you get used to doing something every month, it's easier to not forget. I suspect if we made it every 3 months, people would just forget entirely and we might have to pester them more. But I'm fine either way.
Yeah, I do agree that I think that either bi-monthly or quarterly is very easy to forget, but also it's very simple to just write nothing new, and then that's less work. And if it's repeat month 1, month 2, we have no new, and then the third month, here's a report of 1 paragraph that is very easy.
I mean, if we're worried about like the amount of content, quarterly or like tri-monthly or even bi-monthly could potentially be a lot, right? Like some of these charters might have a lot going on. So if we're like, yep, tri-monthly, and then they come back to us with like a 7-paragraph essay, we're like, oh, nice, like great work. But now we have to like try to like trim this down and make it digestible. So like once a month will just inherently make reports smaller.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
That's fair.
I'm gonna reword this.
My then next question is, we're asking for a deliverable. Who's responsible for making sure that people send the deliverable? Should this be one of the board roles does this and checks up with people?
Yeah, I mean, nominally that should be the secretary, but the reason why I didn't include that was that a lot of these projects are, like, we have subject matter experts for representatives on the board. Like I don't know if the bylaws committee is technically one of these, but like
It is.
Rob, you might be the,
but yeah.
You might be the person that does the bylaws
Right.
committee. I'm the person who's going to do level stuff. Like,
Yes.
I think that the board already has that kind of structure in place. That maybe that the secretary just has to be the person that pokes the board to make sure we do that, or we can just set a reminder, like a week before the board meeting that we go do this.
Yeah, I have some logical proposals for how to do it. I just want to make sure that we don't just say, well, everybody does it, and then don't have anybody that's designated as the gotta push on everybody person.
We could add inside the resolution itself to have the secretary be nominally in charge of it, making sure that it gets done. Very similar to how we have teams at a large event, where nominally the team leader is making sure that everything happens, but isn't necessarily the one that is performing the duties, right?
Okay, give me 1 second.
It's almost like we thrive on delegation and division of labor.
Yep. I just want to be forward about it, that way that if things fall through, also if we're publicly accountable to the members, that they can come and yell it. If we say it's the member at large who's on the board, like, then it's my fault, you know?
How do I phrase this? I'm saying that just obligating the secretary to do this, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how to say that.
The secretary is given the authority to, figure out what people's least favorite food is, and then tell everyone if they don't. Sorry, I'm being unhelpful.
Okay, I think that works. So I'm going to read this. So this would be the amended resolution. It's resolved that leads of projects that have a charter approved by the board may provide a monthly update before the start of a scheduled board meeting in the following month, and that each project is required to provide one such report each quarter. Resolved that the secretary track such updates and inform the appropriate leads when their update is required. So the way we have to do this is I have moved for the previous resolution. So I'm now going to move that we amend the resolution to have the new text. And then we'll vote on that, and then we'll vote on the actual resolution. Because welcome to parliamentary procedure. So I move that we amend my original resolution with the new text that I just read and is provided in the agenda for the rest of the board. Does anyone have any comments on that amendment?
You didn't type the word may. You said may.
So no. That's I didn't edit the. That is the unamended text that I'm not.
Oh, I see.
So that
I can't.
Can,
yep.
Yeah.
I got off by one on the line.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like anyone has anything to say. So all in favor of adopting the amendment to the resolution, raise your hand. I see 5 hands, so the amendment is adopted. Does anyone have any comments on the resolution as a whole as amended? Sounds like no. So the motion is to adopt Resolution 3 as amended, which would require project leads for charter approved projects to provide an update every 3 months and give them the option to do that monthly as appropriate. All in favor of that motion, raise your hand. I see 5 hands. That's unanimous. The resolution is adopted as amended. So that's going to require specific projects. I'll get with the secretary and make sure we know what those are, and we can set up a document so that we can have those prepared for each board meeting. Yeah, hopefully this isn't too onerous, and then we can have more information out there. Does anyone else have any other new business? Nope. Okay. The next thing on the schedule is announcements. I just want to thank the outgoing board members, both John Bryan and Brooke, for their service for the last year. We did a lot of things. Some things were hard, some things were easy. We appreciate them being part of the board and helping us build a strong organization. I'm optimistic about where we're going, and I've appreciated all their input in the last year. And then on the other side of that, again, welcome to Kylan and Ryan. I hope your first board meeting and all your voting was as fun as it was for me. Does anyone else have any other announcements before we adjourn?
I do. Toby, we want to open the store again here? Because it's technically the first of the month. I can't hear you, Toby.
You're right. Yes. Yes, it is the first, and that is the store. The store is the first. Today is the first. Today is the store.
Yep. And so we will open that up within the next 24 hours. That way, if you need to run and can't get it open right away, we can get that opened up. I want to give us a little bit of slack, you know. So the store will be up within the next day, and that we're going to take orders for October. And what I'm going to do is a little bit different than what we've done in the past for the store. Anything that is not personalized, i.e. is not a name tag, we are going to try to ship immediately. I have gotten a back stock of all the items. Anything that I have in stock, I'm just going to ship. If the order includes a mix of non-personalized, like a shirt and a name tag, then I will hold the order until we get the name tag. So that way it all goes out together, so it's less likely to get lost in the mail. And so that way we can try to get out shirts faster because I have a stock of stuff. And if you want a shirt and a name tag and you want to split it up, that's fine. All of our pricing is transparent, includes the shipping. You don't get a discount for putting it separately, or for putting it together. So put it separately. We'll ship the shirt in one shipment and the name tag in another shipment. And that way it's all separate and tracked order by order. So if you want a shirt, order it, and I can get it, sending this out. I won't promise that I'll send them out immediately because I've got events and trips and stuff, but within a week after we get it. I'll try to do it as quickly as possible, though. So
awesome. Thanks, Rob. The last thing I have is that there are Spider-Man update quizzes. They are live. You can go take them now. They will help you with your maintenance next year. I think that is it. Anyone else have anything else before we go? Looks like no. Okay, so that means this is the end of the October 2025 Judge Foundry board meeting. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting and say goodbye to everyone. We will see you all next month or at events in the next 30 days. Thanks everybody for watching.